In the clip below, I used Bow's mobility to stay on top of SEREGIOS while dealing burst damage. Power Shot has almost no end lag, so I can slip right into a dodge after SEREGIOS uses his hop attack. With Discerning Dodge, that evade refills my trick shot arrow, keeping the pressure constant. And thanks to Adrenaline Rush and Blade Skill loading, I gain an extra attack power of 25% more spread damage and plus 10 raw damage. High mobility and high burst is why you should be using the Insurgent's bow. If you've been farming SEREGIOS for Talisman to power up your builds, or to unlock his amazing evasion-based weapon tree, the Insurgent bow is one of the best options to get it done. With this build, you'll be dodging his attacks with ease while dishing out high burst damage, making your farming runs fast and efficient. But before we dive in, let's check out the table of contents. Alright, so if you just want to see the equipment and decorations for the build, you can skip ahead to the timestamp below. However, I highly recommend watching the speed farming guide. It showcases the optimal choices and actions to maximize your damage while avoiding as many hits as possible. Alright, let's talk about dodging. Being able to evade SEREGIOS' attacks not only keeps you safe, but also gives you a buff while letting you stay on the offensive. Every one of his attacks can be dodged if you time it correctly. The key is to always be aiming down sights, then dodge in the direction the hitbox is coming from. In this clip, you'll see as soon as I recognize his attack, I stop throwing out my own shots. I stay locked in ADS, wait for the hitbox, and then dodge straight into its direction. The next thing I want to cover is dodging with Power Shot. Power Shot is one of Bow's key burst options for stacking damage, but what makes it especially strong is its low end lag. That means you can fire off your burst and immediately buffer and evade right after. In this clip, you'll see I narrowly dodge SEREGIOS' hop attack right after using Power Shot. This really shows how Bow is all about commitment, knowing when to take your damage and when to be ready to slip away. Next up, Roars. Roars give you a unique chance to grab your evasion buff. With Adrenaline Rush, that's a plus 10 attack, and with Blade Skill loading, you're getting 25% more spread shot damage. In other words, it's free DPS if you time the dodge right. And if you miss it, worst case, you just get crowd controlled for a moment. But if you land it, it's an easy way to optimize your damage output and optimize the hunt. Next, we're going to be talking about Focus Fire Hailstorm. So we're going to be using this attack to punish SEREGIOS for his plunge attack. So plunge attack makes SEREGIOS temporarily vulnerable, giving you a perfect opening to land Focus Strike for big damage. Right after, you'll follow up with Dragon Piercer automatically, so just make sure you aim it carefully. And as a rule of thumb, only use Dragon Piercer when you're low on stamina and the monster can't punish you for the commitment. Next up is Tracer Shot. To optimize your DPS, you should only use Tracer Shot when SEREGIOS goes for his aerial swipe kicks. Time it so that the shot lands right on his weak spot, which is his ankles, so as soon as he touches the ground, you just shoot your Tracer Shot. That way, your next attack will automatically hone in on his weak spot. But keep in mind, SEREGIOS has natural defenses that makes this tricky. His left and right wings take the least damage from the arrows, according to the hunting handbook. So that means oftentimes his wings will be able to block your shots from his ankles. This is especially effective on Bow, and it really shows the interesting monster design that shows that these monsters do have natural effects, and they really show depending on certain matchups. Next is your charging sidesteps. With the stamina that this build gives, you can spam sidesteps freely to reposition. Use them to close in on SEREGIOS' weak spots while keeping up the pressure. As you're maneuvering, keep peppering him with shots. Each sidestep isn't just movement, it's setting up for a better angle to hit those weak spots. Alright guys, let's get into the build analysis. So first we're starting off with Stamina Surge at level 3. This skill boosts stamina recovery speed by 50%, and on Bow, that's huge, since every part of your gameplay from your charging sidesteps to spamming shots, power volley shots, each of these things eats up stamina, so faster recovery means you're almost left never winded, so you can just keep spamming your dodges, spamming your movements, whatever, and being very mobile. Next is Constitution at level 4. This skill reduces the fixed stamina cost of actions like dodging, which we're going to be using a lot, and Bow's charging sidesteps by 40%. For Bow, that's honestly really massive since every sidestep, again, takes stamina. The synergy here is with Stamina Surge. Constitution reduces the amount you spend, while Stamina Surge speeds up how fast it comes back. Together, they make your mobility feel almost endless. You can honestly sidestep, reposition for hours and just keep constant pressure without running dry. Now, let's talk about Latent Power level 5. So, once it's activated, the skill boosts your affinity and reduces your stamina depletion for 2 minutes. It normally triggers after staying in combat for 2 minutes, but it can also activate earlier if you take around 130 points of damage in total. For reference, our hunter has 150 points of health. For bow, this skill is incredibly valuable. The affinity boost means more consistent crits, and the stamina reduction stacks perfectly with Constitution and Stamina Surge, giving you smoother sidesteps and longer uptime on pressure. In short, Latent Power makes your damage more reliable and your stamina management even more forgiving, letting you stay aggressive for extended periods of time. Next is Weakness Exploit level 5. So this gives you plus 30% affinity when hitting a weak point, and an extra plus 20% affinity if that weak point is wounded. In other words, when you're landing shots on SEREGIOS' ankles, his true weak spot by the way, you're gaining up to 50% affinity. For bow, this is critical because your shots are fast and precise, making it easy to consistently target weak points. The synergy here with critical boost, which we're about to talk about, multiplies that extra affinity into even more critical damage. Together, Weakness Exploit and Critical Boost are the backbone of your DPS, and when you remember when Latent Power kicks in, we get a 50% additional affinity. That is a lot of damage. Next, we've got Critical Boost at level 5. So this raises your critical hit damage from base 25% all the way to up to 40%. So whenever you trigger a crit, this is going to increase the damage substantially. The synergy here is obvious. Weakness Exploit, Latent Power, these all come together to increase your damage consistently. Next is Spread/Power Shots. So thanks to our talisman, we're able to get this skill and it gives us a flat 5% damage to our power shots and our quick shots. Alright, next we have a really amazing skill called Adrenaline Rush at level 1. So whenever you land a well-timed dodge, this skill gives you a plus 10 attack for 30 seconds. So on bow, that's triggered by sidesteps, charging sidesteps, discerning dodge. So basically what you're already constantly doing. The synergy here is with discerning dodge and your overall evasion playstyle. Every time you slip through an attack, you're not only refilling your trick arrow shot, but also getting a flat attack boost. It's a natural reward for good timing and keeps your offense rolling while you stay safe. Next, we have Blade Scale Loading. So after narrowly evading an attack with your weapon drawn, you're able to gain 3 free loaded shots like we talked about before. So they don't consume your regular coatings, and each one deals about 25% more damage on your bow. So obviously this skill ties directly into our evasion playstyle, where every successful dodge not only keeps you safe, but also rewards you with boosted DPS. So combined with Adrenaline Rush, you're really stacking a lot of enhanced damage here. Next is Evade Extender at level 2. So this increases the distance of your dodges and your sidesteps, which makes a huge difference for bow. While charging sidestep, you're not only slipping through attacks, you're also covering more ground, letting you reposition faster and line up for better angles on SEREGIOS' weak spots. The synergy here is with Constitution and Stamina Surge. So Constitution, again, as a reminder, reduces how much stamina each sidestep costs. Stamina Surge speeds up that recovery, and Evade Extender makes every sidestep carry you further. Together, these three basically combine to make you constantly dodge and give you that high mobility playstyle for bow. And next, we have Azure Bolt level 1, which is basically just a set skill because we have 2 pieces of Legiacris equipment on. So it's just a small bonus skill on this setup. Nothing game changing, but every bit of extra damage helps. Basically, like whenever you attack for a certain amount of time, you'll basically get like an affinity boost and you'll deal a small amount of thunder damage to the enemy. And finally, because we're running 3 Art Tempered Ray Dow equipment, we get access to Guts/Tenacity, which gives us attack damage, and it basically gives us like a saving grace so we don't get one shot. And it also increases our latent power duration. We also have Burst 1, which is like an optimization and meta skill. It's really good to have it at level 1. And yeah, those are all the skills. Alright guys, well here's the build, here's the equipment, decorations, and talisman. So just screenshot or pause if you need to. So Borderlands 4 has come out, so we're definitely gonna be covering some videos of that. But don't worry, Monster Hunter is still gonna get content. I have a few requests for builds on this channel. I'm going to be able to make those videos for you. Don't worry. If you have any more requests, just let me know. Anyways, yeah, guys, I hope you have fun. Enjoy yourselves. Take care. Stay safe. And yeah, thank you.